Okay, so example 4B got cut off. So we're going to set this one up just like we set up 4A. And we're just going to have two problems, just like we normally would if it didn't have an inequality sign. So we're going to do 5z plus 2 is less than or equal to 17. 5z plus 2 is greater than or equal to negative 17. So remember, you need to change the inequality signs and you need to change it to a negative. Now, we haven't decided if it's going to be an and or an or, but we have a sneaking suspicion what's it going to be. But let's go ahead and solve these two problems. So I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. Ignore the bell, we are. So 5z is less than or equal to 15. We're going to divide by 5. We're going to ignore this bell.
Do not dismiss students at this time.
We had to say it again.
Once the weather clears up a bit. So
Okay.
no dismissal this time, please.
So right now we have z is less than or equal to 3. We're going to subtract 2. We're going to cross these out. We're left with 5z is greater than or equal to negative 19. We're going to divide by 5. We're going to get z is greater than or equal to negative 19 fifths. Or you can write, or negative 3.8. I would take either one for right now. Now we're going to make that simple number line that you've seen in the previous videos. I'm going to start with negative 19 fifths or negative 3.8. I'm going to put a 0 and then I'm going to put a 3. Now look that it has an equal sign, so that means it is included, so it's going to be a closed circle. Again, you guys, because it has the line, it's going to include it. Over here, it's also going to include it. Now, what my job is to figure out if it's an and or an or. To figure out if it's an or an and, we're going to plug in 0. 0 is the easiest one to plug in. Is 0 less than or equal to 3? Is that a true statement? Yes. 0 is less than or equal to 3. Is 0 greater than or equal to negative 3/8? Is that a true statement? It is. Because that makes them both true, we're going to shade in between. And what that means is that it's an and. So we're going to write the word and. And I'm going to tell you, if you looked at your notes above, that you know if it's a less than, it's always going to be an and. And we're going to write the solution set as z such that this is going to be our first one. Less than or equal to z, which is less than or equal to 3. You guys, you start with this number and put it here. Oh, you guys can't see. So you're going to take this number and put it here. This number's here, and then it's always less than. And that's your final answer. That's your final answer. Okay, now we have a tuition problem. We have number 5. So the tuition, Rachel, we should be reading this. Rachel is considering colleges. Her choice, the average number is $3,725. And it's a difference, it differs between 1,650. So we're going to find the absolute value of 3,725 minus t is less than or equal to 1,650. And t is the actual tuition. You guys, this is the average. This is the actual tuition, give or take $1,650. Okay. Now we're going to set it up. Now, because it's a less than, what do you guys think it's going to be? Do you guys have an answer for me? Do you think it's going to be an and? Because if you think it's going to be an and, you would be correct. just remember, you guys, when you do these problems, you still are going to use the same rules that you did, the same rules apply as before with inequalities. If you divide by a negative number, the inequality has to flip. So I'm going to divide by -1. I get t is greater than or equal to 2,075. Over here, I'm going to do the same thing. Divide by that -1. T is less than or equal to 5,375. So right there, so I solve it. So what that means is that the actual tuition is somewhere between $2,075 and $5,375. So if we went like this, we would put T such that 2,075 is less than or equal to T, which is less than or equal to. So that just means that the actual tuition is between those two amounts. I probably went through that a little fast. You probably want to stop and replay, but make sure you're reading your notes. And if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks, guys.